From our studios in New York, here is Katie Couric.
He's deranged, he's deadly, and those are his good qualities. He's known only as Dr. Evil, presently serving a sentence of 400 years for crimes against mankind. Tonight, a television first, a side of Dr. Evil you've never seen before, in a shocking interview you surely won't see anywhere else. My exclusive jailhouse conversation with the maniacal menace that is Dr. Evil.
All visitations limited to 5 minutes. No spitting in the visitor's room.
Dr. Evil, it seems to me...
Please, call me Dougie.
It seems to me, Dougie,
Yeah.
that Dr. Evil is terribly misunderstood.
Well, you know, I'm evil. I was born in Belgium. My mother was a prostitute with webbed feet. I'm left-handed.
How is prison life treating you?
You know, it's all good in the hood. I make my own distilled wine in the toilet in makeshift prison shivs.
And finally, your cat,
Yeah.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Have you been able to spend any time with him?
I miss him. He's my little kitty, you know. It's hard. I get a little, you know. Can I have a sec?
Yeah, please. To those familiar with his story of treachery and deceit, there can be little sympathy for that diabolical deviant Dr. Evil. Thankfully, his reign of terror was terminated by the suave super spy, Austin Powers.
I am a sexy beast!
But along with his pint-sized protege, Mini-Me, his forbidding accomplice, Frau Forbissina, and an evil empire of freaking idiots, Dr. Evil has vowed revenge. Some might say not even Hollywood could write a script like this, right?
Cool!
The only trouble is, it did. And not just once or even twice. Believe it or not, they're up to number 3.
1975! Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin Powers in Goldmember brings the time warp tale of the swinging secret agent back to the big screen this weekend. Starring, of course, the irrepressible Mike Myers. How many more do you think you're going to do?
Oh, if somebody said to me, you have to do an Austin Powers movie, one a year for the rest of your life, I'd be the happiest guy in the world.
At this rate, someone just might. Though Myers himself reportedly commands a shagadelic $25 million to write and appear in the otherwise low-budget spy spoofs.
Let's go.
The last Austin Powers grossed over $205 million in the U.S. alone.
Oops, I did it again, baby!
That's one reason why industry insiders are predicting Goldmember will be a smashing success.
Whoa! No way!
So, of course, I was more than flattered when, back in March, Myers asked me to make a cameo appearance in his epic franchise. When you saw a need for a prison guard, did you think, Katie Couric, we got to get Katie Couric. Get Katie Couric on the phone?
Well, or get a Katie Couric alike, but thankfully you were available. But whenever I think of a unibrowed, masculine guard that's very butch, I think of you.
Thank you, thank you.
And so the calls went out immediately.
So their people called my people.
Katie Couric's office.
And my script pages were faxed. Sure enough, it was the role of a lifetime. I would make my acting debut in a pivotal scene, the prisoner visitation room where Frau and Dr. Evil unlocked the key to his troubled past. More importantly, I'd be immortalized on celluloid with Mindy Sterling and Mike Myers. Naturally, I decided to prepare for my role vigorously by doing as much research as I could about the advent of Austin. When you first came up with the idea of Austin Powers,
Yeah?
it was from the look
Of love.
of love, yeah. And what did that do? It just sort of made you...
Well, my dad had died in 1991, and I was basically incapacitated artistically, certainly emotionally. And it came on the radio, and it just reminded me of everything that my father loved about British, you know, because it's from Casino Royale, and all this silly English stuff just spewed out of me, and I just started talking like Austin Powers, baby. And for 3 days I was like, do I make you horny, baby? Do I? And my wife was like, oh, that's funny. And on the 4th day she said, all right, shut up. Write it down. Come on, Dad, stand up and take a bow.
While I discovered Austin Powers is hardly biographical, it is personal.
Daddy?
It's a tribute to his late father, Eric, who after immigrating from Liverpool, raised Mike and his two brothers in a suburb of Toronto. There, this encyclopedia salesman imported his appreciation for British humor.
You know, friends came over and they weren't funny. They were kicked out of the house. He's not bloody funny. Can't come in like. He's not funny.
What did your mom think about all this?
Oh, Eric. That's what she would say. Eric. When I was growing up, though, she didn't think I was funny at all.
She didn't?
No, not at all. My brothers were funny, and I would try to be funny. She'd go, "Oh, you're not funny, Michael." You try. Very sad. All the Myers boys who were funny take one step forward. Not so fast, Michael.
Oh, that's not very
Yes,
nice.
You're unfunny.
Did that spur you on to be funnier?
I think it scarred me emotionally. No, I didn't care. I thought it was funny. My mom and my dad were both. Do you remember that cartoon with those two English sparrows?
No.
Oh, well, they're just like that. Let me try and find another analogy, not from the cartoon world.
Dad! Hello, son.
And now, for this third installment, Myers has recruited his own father's idol to play his on-screen dad,
It's not the size, mate. It's how you use it.
that dashing Brit, Michael Caine. I mean, what the heck does he know about playing some British character?
It was a stretch for him. He actually talks exactly like my father, but with a southern accent. And I could not resist. I just kept saying to him all day long, "My name is Michael Caine. My name is Michael Caine." He says, "Do you know what? You do me better than I do me." That is not funny.
So, although the series has mass appeal on both sides of the pond, you might say Myers believes his dad is the one getting the biggest kick out of Austin Powers.
I think that he's watching him somewhere. You know, and I'll see him later, and we'll have a couple of cold Canadian beers and talk about it.
Armed with this useful biographical information, I felt I was poised to give my best performance. Here was my big break, my big screen debut. Hollywood, here I come.
You don't have to be a star, baby.
I arrived at the lot, as they say in the biz, for a bright and early call.
Hi, Katie Couric for my Austin Powers cameo.
Right away, I discovered in Hollywood, it helps to check your ego at the door.
What do you mean I'm not on the list?
That is, if you can get in the door.
Couric. C-O-U-R-I-C. I'm gonna be a...
I was sure it was all just a misunderstanding. And sure enough, the people inside the gate were expecting me. The second AD, Marcy, was there to make sure I was treated like top drawer talent.
So I guess I get a trailer, I guess, huh?
You just get a place to change your clothes.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know, it's a little crowded today.
Oh.
It's a big day, so this is your trailer.
The Porta, John? Thanks a lot.
Here's the good news. It's like you don't even have to walk outside to find the toilet.
Finally, a place where I could feel at home, wardrobe,
Now I'm gonna get like a billy club and...
where I was fitted in a fiber, not found in nature.
YMCA.
Then it was on to hair and makeup. At last, I was in the presence of someone with whom I would share motion picture immortality. Mindy Sterling, otherwise known as Frau.
Well, I think you look so beautiful today, Katie, and I can't wait until we get to act together.
As the makeup mavens transformed us into our on-screen alter egos, we chatted about, well, movie star stuff.
I want residuals. I hear I have to have at least 3 lines.
Is it 3 or 5?
Yeah, I heard 3.
Meanwhile, I thought TV was tough. 2 grueling hours later, I'd finally taken on some of my character's androgynous traits. A tattoo, whiskers, and last but certainly not least, a feature any Austin Powers fan would surely envy. A unibrow. But this was the part I was waiting for, getting to meet the director, Jay Roach.
Okay, before you go, can you just give me some more tips on what my motivation is?
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Then it was time to get into character. The moment of truth had finally arrived,
Katie Couric coming to set. They're ready.
and I was ready for my close-up. Lights, camera, Austin, baby. Before shooting began, I took a moment to fraternize with some of the extras on set.
So maybe at some point you'll get a line. I'm sorry that I'm the one they chose to give a line to.
Yeah, how'd you land that?
I don't know. I think they just saw me, that I was screaming with raw talent.
All right, gang, here we go.
Then, as cameras rolled, my film career was off to an auspicious start.
Being forced to wear those.
When Mike and Mindy were done spewing their seemingly endless discourse of meaningless dialogue,
They don't force you to wear nipple rings.
followed by an arguably freakish on-screen embrace, I uttered the line on which the entire Austin Powers saga would hinge.
Time's up.
Going again.
This went on for take 2,
Time's up.
and take 3,
Time's up.
and take 4.
Time's up.
I'd even come up with my own little ad-lib. To my astonishment, it was beginning to become painfully obvious the filmmakers didn't see any Oscars in my future.
All right, Katie, just be in the moment. Let's do a mirror exercise.
It was all so surreal.
Feel the energy.
I was actually getting acting tips from a doofus and a do-rag.
I'm a kitten, you're a kitten.
I'm a kitten. You're a kitten.
I'm a kitten, you're a kitten. You're in the moment. Make that one line count. Oh, yeah.
Then, just when I thought I had nothing left to give, I found deep inside of myself the confidence some actresses study years to possess.
Time's up.
Visiting hours are over.
And that, as they say in the business, was a wrap.
Let's hear it for Katie Couric.
I'd like to thank my mother and my father. Let's talk about me. How'd you think I did in the movie?
Oh, I think you steal the movie.
Really?
Yeah. I can't see anything but you
When you saw
in the movie.
Thanks.
Yeah, I thought you were the best thing in the movie.
Don't worry, Mike. I won't be quitting my day job anytime soon. It looks like I'll just have to keep settling for those exclusive one-on-one interviews with newsmakers like you.
Are you sure you don't want to be an evil television personality on my network?
Now, it turns out I'm in good company. Some of the biggest names in showbiz also have cameos in this Austin Powers extravaganza, including Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin Spacey, and Tom Cruise, all looking considerably better than I do.